busting. Many brothers I be sparking and rusting, man, like inside the dark, call me Bill Snatcher. Just a brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifested. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my sacred life.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explained here, bringing you guys some major anime news from two sources I absolutely trust. The first source, the one that actually broke it, is the little homie Abdul, and the other source that broke it is Organic Dinosaur. The Boruto anime is officially moving into the current stuff that's going on in the manga, or at least the most recent manga arc that is wrapped up. And I gotta say, man, for anime only fans, Boruto episode 204 was essentially the beginning. This was essentially the beginning. You saw Naruto and Sasuke going up against Jigen. You saw how powerful Jigen was, and at the end of the actual episode, I don't feel like this is a spoiler because Isshiki Otsutsuki was talking in the episode and he was referring to himself in third person and he was berating Jigen the entire time. What you saw with Jigen, when Jigen's body was amped up on Ten Tails chakra, he had the Karma transformation and he had the Otsutsuki transformation, all of that, and his body began to break down and the guy was able to body Naruto and Sasuke in the process, but they still did some major damage to him. Everything that you saw when Isshiki Otsutsuki makes his anime debut, you might as well put everything that you saw on the back burner, because Ishiki's a completely different animal at this point. He's a lot stronger than Jigen, and I gotta say, fam, hands down, them announcing this arc, it really makes you look at the upcoming stuff that's happening in the Boruto anime. And number one, we gotta applaud this director, because ever since this director took over, he said, I'm a fan of the manga just like a lot of you guys, and I want to adapt the manga because I know that's what people are actually very interested in, and he's lived up to it. Since he's taken over, we've gotten the Mujina Bandits arc, we've gotten the Kara Actuation arc, which was not in the manga, but it tied into the manga, and it actually developed the characters that we didn't have a lot of interest in. A character like Victor, who was fodder in the manga, he had a whole character arc. Deepa had an interesting arc at this point. You had the Vessel arc, you have the Kawaki arc that just wrapped up with the Naruto and Sasuke versus Jigen battle. This new director has given us everything from I believe chapter 13 all the way up to chapter 38 as of the last episode. So we've gotten a lot of stuff under this director. So what I'm gonna do for you guys now, I'm gonna actually go over the actual press releases, because we got a few things. We got the actual summary for the arc, and then we have comments from the voice actors of Boruto, the voice actor of Kawaki, the voice actor of Naruto, and the voice actor of Sasuke. So we got a lot of information to go over. So I'm gonna go over some of this stuff, and then I'll end up talking about some of the concerns people have about the pacing of the Boruto anime. I'm gonna address that as well. So going into the actual synopsis, so it's titled The Kawaki Arc, The Revival of an Otsutsuki. The translation says as follows: as the battle against Kara continues to intensify, the bond between Boruto and Kawaki, who both possess karma, also gradually deepens. Even though they kept quarreling with one another at every opportunity, they decided to cooperate with each other. Meanwhile, Jigen, the leader of Kara, has steadily begun to mobilize in order to achieve his own goals. Since his combat capabilities are outstanding, even the ones who are the strongest in the shinobi world, Naruto and Sasuke, can't even seem to defeat him, despite joining forces with one another to do so. Jigen then takes center stage at the worst possible moment and targets Konoha. Not only are Boruto and Kawaki being targeted by Jigen, as one would expect, but also the entire village gets enveloped by the conflict with the expansion of all the carnage and horrors of war. What are the motives that Jigen is trying to achieve? Moreover, what is this mystery behind karma? Finally, the decisive battle between Jigen and Boruto and his comrades is about to explosively begin. So what you're seeing right there, if you go back to Boruto opening 8, when you saw Boruto and Team 7 fighting against Kara members, you saw Konoha being destroyed, you saw Kara members running through the actual village. Manga readers such as myself said, hey, opening 8 8 and then version 2 of opening 8. That's not clickbait right there. You're actually seeing fights that take place in the manga. Some fights, not every fight that you saw was something that took place in the manga, but we kept telling you guys, like, some of the characters that you're seeing fighting inside of Konoha and some of the characters you see Team 7 taking on, you're actually going to see those fights in the actual anime. And what you see right here is they talk about how Jigen comes to Konoha. There is something that goes down in Konoha village that I'm telling you right now, you guys are really not prepared for what's going to happen once that battle starts to take place. And the conclusion of that battle is probably going to be one of those moments where you thought episode 204 left you shocked. When we get to the climax of that battle, hands down, there are going to be a lot of anime fans who are going to be completely shell-shocked. I'm expecting Twitter to break that day when it happens. So I like what you're seeing with this synopsis. This is a really good job as far as kind of letting you know that the stakes are getting ready to raise, that Jigen, even after whipping Naruto and Sasuke's ass, Jigen is not content, he's not satisfied, and just as he's told Naruto, I'm gonna go take your son has the karma seal. You have to also keep in mind, again, the anime made this clear, so I don't consider this a spoiler. Isshiki Otsutsuki was talking through Jigen, so that's interesting right there. That's very interesting because Sasuke said it in the episode. He said, like, hey, that guy's taking on the appearance of the Otsutsuki that we saw to begin with. And this is me telling you, everything you saw from Jigen, even with all those amps and everything, Jigen could not bring out the full power of Isshiki, even with all those boosts that he had. Isshiki said it in the actual episode. So again, I don't consider that to be an actual spoiler. So very good synopsis right there. I want to look at the statements by the actual voice actors because you can glean a little bit more information from them. So I'm going to start with Sasuke Uchiha's voice actor, then I'm going to work my way up to Boruto's voice actor. I'm going to say Boruto's a voice actor for the last because he's got the most to say. So Sasuke's voice actor says, starting in July, the Kawaki arc, the revival of an Otsutsuki, will begin broadcasting. A new crisis is unfolding in Konoha. How will Naruto, Sasuke, and the others face it? What is karma? What are Jigen's true motives? And what is his true identity? I think that you should definitely check out all these amazing developments. Naruto's voice actor says Boruto is delving right into some new developments. A huge predicament is about to befall Boruto and Kawaki, and the truth that surrounds that incident will be revealed. As the Hokage and a father, this is important, as a Hokage and a father, Naruto becomes even more deeply and mentally anguished, but he'll accept the truth of the matter and keep pressing forward. Please keep supporting everyone in both Boruto and Naruto's generations. That is huge right there. That's low-key foreshadowing what Naruto's voice actor just told you there. Now, Kawaki's voice actor says the Boruto anime is diving into a new segment. There's still more and more mysteries about the Otsutsuki. Even though Kawaki has grown accustomed to living in Konoha, it doesn't seem as though he's in a situation where he can finally relax and his mind wander off. But anyway, the Boruto anime is about to swell up with even more excitement and go at an even faster pace. I hope you'll enjoy it. That's also, they're hyping this up for a reason. And I read the manga. And this is me telling you, man, once the anime starts covering this stuff, you anime only fans, you really gonna want to get in on the manga discussions for the stuff that took place during this time, because just like a lot of the questions I'm getting after Naruto and Sasuke versus Jigen, we already talked about that stuff when the manga took place. That's why you're not seeing me make those videos over again. So just want to throw that out as well. Now you have Boruto's voice actor, who has the most to say, and in my opinion, probably the most important bit of information after Naruto's voice actor. So Boruto's voice actor says, since welcoming a new friend Kawaki, my heart's been pounding every week with excitement as these new developments unfold and we get closer to the mysteries behind Jigen and what Kara has been plotting. Boruto takes on the role of arbitrator. He'll be able to show off a new side to everyone around them too. I think that the combination of Kawaki and Boruto together will be like a chemical reaction that's huge and generate an unexpectedly great outcome. His father and comrades, even had a difficult battle against the enemy. Team 7 will be getting fired up and putting their best efforts in order to defeat their foe. So please keep cheering them on. And you got Boruto's verbal tick at the end. So that right there is in reference to Team 7's major battle that's getting ready to actually take place. And very interesting choice of words. So when the voice actor, when she talks about there being a chemical reaction with Boruto and Kawaki, you guys have already seen in the anime, Boruto and Kawaki, their karmas are resonating on the same wavelength with one another, which is very important. There are some things that are getting ready to happen and get shown off in the upcoming Boruto anime episodes. You probably got about 4 episodes to go before you get the next major plot twist that happens. And I gotta say, that was very interesting wording right there, because one thing that you see is that she's talking about the fact that Team 7, so Boruto, Sarada, Mitsuki, they're doing their best to defeat their foe. Keyword, they're doing their best. They've got a really big fight that's getting ready to actually take place. And when you see who Team 7 matches up against, just keep in mind, as you're watching that fight, they're outclassed. They're fighting somebody who has a very hacks ability. They're fighting someone who is drastically stronger than them. But just as Naruto and Sasuke were severely outmatched with the battle with Jigen and they still hung in there, you're gonna see Team 7 in that same situation. However, the only difference is that character is clearly toying around with them. He's using a little bit of effort, but he's toying around, much in the same way that when you saw Deepa and Deepa was fighting against Team 7, he toyed around, and the only reason why Deepa ended up losing the second fight was because the dude was arrogant enough to use a jutsu that hadn't been actually mastered and refined for battle. That's why Boruto's super compression Rasengan was ultimately able to take this guy down, because he had a weakness that was directly manufactured for Boruto. This battle that Team 7 is getting ready to go into, Team 7 just gets very lucky in that they have 2 members on that team who are specifically built to combat the person that they're going to be fighting against. However, it takes one of the biggest plot twists in the actual series for the tide of battle to actually change right there. And so I'm going to leave that off there. I'm going to actually talk about what you get with the Boruto anime getting too close to the manga, and oh my god, the Boruto anime is gonna be going on break. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna address all of that in a separate video this week, because there are a few things that people are actually forgetting, and I'm not gonna throw out the dreaded anime canon slash filler. I'm not gonna throw that out there. However, I am going to talk about a few things that people are overlooking. So with all that being said, though, I want to know from you guys, how hyped are you, if you're an anime only fan, about the upcoming Kawaki arc, the revival of NEWS-Isshiki? Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.